Yep, there they are. The 10 Democratic candidates in tomorrow's special primary to decide who will succeed the late Gerry Connolly in Virginia's 11th congressional district. I reached out to every single one of them for an interview. 7 of them responded, and both Democrats and Republicans are actually holding special primaries tomorrow. But we're going to start with the Democratic side. They're the party that's held the seat since 2008. All right, so for our viewers at home, tell us who you are and why you're running for Virginia's 11th congressional district.
I'm Irene Shin, and I represent the 8th District in the Virginia House of Delegates, and I'm running to be the next member of Congress from the 11th Virginia Congressional District.
I'm currently a Virginia State Senator representing the 36th District. I'm a mom. I've got 6 kids. I was a public school teacher, business owner, and I served on the Fairfax County School Board as chair as well before I went to the Senate.
I'm a lawyer with 20 years of experience in both energy and national security, and I have a long track record of getting things done, especially when government can't.
I'm James Walkinshaw. I'm a member of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. I was the longtime chief of staff to Gerry Connolly, and I'm running for Congress because we're in a 5-alarm fire moment for our democracy.
I'm Candice Bennett. I'm running. I am a small business owner here in the 11th, as well as a Fairfax County Planning Commissioner and a longtime affordable housing advocate.
I'm running for the seat to pass the Basic Rights Amendment, which I can elaborate on. I'd like to pass the Equal Rights Amendment, again, without a time constraint, and I would like to press for due process in relation to anyone incarcerated in Cuba at the present time.
I'm a healthcare entrepreneur and an advocate. I've been in public service for over 20 years. I've served at the highest levels of federal government, at the White House, at the highest levels of state government for a governor, and I also worked on global poverty issues at the World Bank.
When you look at what Congress is doing right now, are they helping or hurting families in Northern Virginia and in the 11th District?
So our district is under attack by the Trump administration. There are 80,000 federal employees just in Fairfax County. I was at an event recently in my district. 20 folks there, 4 of them had lost their federal jobs, and those numbers continue to rise. So we're uniquely under attack. It's having an impact on our economy. It's creating anxiety.
Many contractors who support our federal government, and their livelihoods are being ripped out from underneath them. And that is going to have just dire consequences for those families.
But we need to basically fight back on behalf of the federal workers. We need to reverse the schedule policy career directive. We need to restore due process.
I don't have to explain to any of your viewers the impact that has not only to the families, but to the regional economy. And that's devastating. And I think we're already seeing some of that tension and that stress given what happened with Fairfax County and kind of where the budget is.
And with the big, beautiful bill that is under consideration right now and looks very likely to pass, we're going to have tens of thousands of people that are going to be losing access to their health care, their Medicaid, their food assistance program. Very bad things are happening for people in Northern Virginia right now, and I'm stepping in because I want to help them.
Right now, leaders in Congress are trying to be helpful for families in Virginia. But I think that what this administration has done is incredibly harmful to our communities, whether it's the 22-year-olds in Doge who decimated the federal workforce, or it's masked up ICE agents terrorizing our neighborhoods and ripping families apart.
But placing people out of work, I don't view that as helping families at all. So I think that there should be way more certainty with regard to when people take a job with the government, that they will have a job in the government, regardless of the administration.
If you get elected and your party controls Congress eventually, as we know, control goes back and forth, how do you guarantee voters we're not going to see the same gridlock?
I've been in public service for over 20 years, but also I come from very real lived experiences. So those two things combined, I think, can bring a lot of impact to a place such as Congress.
Having one more vote than the other guy and then having the other guy have one more vote than you is not a way to lead our country. We need new leaders who want to work together and work bipartisanly to get things done. And that's what I plan on doing.
There were a lot of times where I watched Gerry Connolly at a 9 a.m. committee hearing going toe-to-toe with Republicans, sometimes in a screaming match with Republicans about something they were doing that he felt was really, really wrong. But he also could then turn around and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, meet quietly with some of those same Republicans on a different piece of legislation.
It's completely understandable. I understand how they're feeling. I feel that way too. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm running, is because you don't necessarily feel like people are listening to the voters, right?
I think one of my biggest criticisms of leaders in Congress right now is there are literal tanks rolling in our streets and taking over American cities. And that same week, you had House Democrats vote for a resolution to thank ICE. And I just find that to be so disconnected from what the communities are actually feeling.
What's been the toughest thing about this process?
It's almost like a reality TV show, right? I mean, I had actually run for office 10 years ago, so there are parts of the structure that I'm familiar with. And so when we decided to do this, at least I had some experience under my belt.
When I'm on doors talking to voters, I know that they are feeling the same level of frustration that I am with the current structure of Democratic Party politics.
As you see that finish line in sight and as voters start to cast ballots, what's your closing message?
So my closing message is that I'm the candidate who has the experience to fight Trump on day one. And because it's a special election, there won't be an orientation period or a training period, as a new member of Congress would typically go through.
I'm taking a risk, certainly, but I think it's a risk worth taking.
So the momentum and the feedback and the response we've been getting from residents across Northern Virginia has really been inspiring.
I believe we can find ways to look for those issues that are going to make a difference for people. And we have to, because people are counting on us. And at the end of the day, that is the job of any and every public servant.
I feel like a lot of people have given up on that, but that's how politics used to work, and that's how it needs to work again.
That was Stella Pekarsky and Amy and Roma at the end there. By the way, three candidates who did not return our request for an interview: Lyra Martinez, Amy Papanu, and Priya Punus. They're also running in that primary. And once we know the winners, we're going to reach out to the Republican nominee to invite them back here on the Final Five. And we're back with the third block after this.